What is up? Welcome back to Crossroaded. Sorry we missed you last week. Had some technical difficulties, but we're back this week. After Privateer Paradise last week, I'm sure Gypsy Tales was punching air, seeing all the privateers get the spotlight and make some real money. But this weekend we had Philly. It was an East-West showdown as well, so plenty to talk about this week. But first, joining me tonight, we'll start off with Justin Reese. What's up, Justin? Welcome back.
What's up, guys? Yeah, if you just would have had some Starlink, Elon would have hooked you up with some good Wi-Fi. We could have gone last week.
That's very true. It would have been very helpful. And then back again, CJ Fishy Fingers Hinkle. What's up, Hinkle?
Ripping lips, baby.
Guy was out there. He caught like 30 fish in like 25 minutes.
I'm telling you, it's the same two fish. He just took a bunch of different angles from it and
Hmm.
just kept. He might have caught it out of his live well 27 times.
I mean, they do look very similar. But well, all right, boys, let's jump back into it. It's good to be back. We'll go right into these developing stories. Now, some of these they might be a week late, but I think the very first thing I want to touch up on is Dino's debut. We saw the announcement, last week that he's going to be riding for HRC. He didn't line up last week, came out this week, came out opening ceremonies in the Grandpa Earl suit. Um, but yeah, Justin, I mean, I think we talked about it. We're not really sure, what the expectations were, but either way, it was cool to see Dino out there. And I think it was the right choice to put him in that spot.
Yeah, I think for Honda, he's got a good rep. He's got a lot of fans. Everyone kind of loves him. He's kind of on that retirement tour, so it's perfect to come in for a couple races. Kind of knows a little bit about the bike. He can kind of help him maybe a little bit in some situations to develop the bike. And I think him coming out as Grandpa Earl was absolutely perfect. I think that's the best way to come out, to come back from racing.
Yeah, no, I agree. And then CJ, what about you? Do you think Dino was the right choice, the only choice, or was someone else maybe a better fit?
Yeah, I mean, I think that was really the only choice. I mean, there's the Trey Kennard talk.
Mhm.
Dylan, I heard Dylan Ferrandis was angry about it or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think he beat Dylan, or him and Dylan were battling, or whatever. Either way, it was still. I mean, there's not many people. You're not going to get a Jet Lawrence. So you're basically putting someone out there to fill a spot. Hopefully, they help you with the bike a little bit. Maybe the crowd likes them, and I think Dean fits that slot pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, you moved Dylan Ferrandis over to HRC, and honestly, no one cares.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay,
I think,
whatever.
well, I think with I heard Dylan got like a factory transmission and some other stuff since the Lawrences aren't racing and he didn't get that ride. They kind of threw him some parts.
Mhm. Yeah, so they're like, here's a bone.
Yeah.
Um, and then another story coming into it, last week that came out, Tomac releases a video that he's back on the bike. Uh, Maybe I'm wrong, but I think he said that he might even hop in maybe this last Supercross. If not, sounds like maybe he'll be ready for outdoors, CJ. But yeah, what do you think? Are we ready for Tomac to come back or what?
Yeah. I mean, we saw a little taste of what he had to offer in Supercross at the beginning of the year, and then that freak ass accident. But yeah, I think we all saw the video. It looks like he's ripping. It'd be cool to see him back in Supercross. I think part of me just wants him to line up for outdoors. I get it, lining up, getting some
Mhm.
start, getting some action, but it's like, don't hurt yourself anymore. You're 30 some years old and your bones are starting to break, bro.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, he could show up at Colorado. That's in two rounds, so his hometown race. Maybe he just pops up. But also, Justin, there's talk about with silly season going on and with Star having these spots open up that it doesn't sound like the talks with re-signing Tomac are going well. A couple of things to factor in. Tomac loves the cable clutch. Yamaha is the only bike out there that has a cable clutch, so that's a big factor. But yeah, right now it doesn't sound like a deal is going to be done with Yamaha and Tomac.
Yeah, I've seen some of that too as well. I think it all depends. I mean, maybe Tomac does, finally just say screw it and takes a little bit less money to finally do a Supercross only contract next year. I think they're definitely going to keep J Coop. Webb's pay goes up a lot, so I mean, I hope Tomac stays back on a Yamaha. Is it something that Tomac goes to Triumph or something? But I don't see him wanting to develop a bike at this late in his career.
No, I don't think there's any chance that we see Tomac go ride anything else.
Hmm.
I don't think he. don't think he meshes with the management at Kawasaki. He's not going to go ride anything else. And I don't even understand. I'm curious where these rumors are coming from because it doesn't even make sense. Who's going to pay Justin Cooper but not pay Eli Tomac, and who's going to pay Cooper Webb to be the main guy when Cooper Webb's like a fifth place guy when everybody's healthy? Doesn't make
Well,
sense to me.
I mean, you look at it, I mean, the last 2 years that Tomac's been out there, he hasn't been finishing the season, so maybe that's a sign that, his body's breaking down and you can't rely on him. But yeah, Jay Coop out there, he's a solid two, and Webb, he's going to be back. But from what it sounds like is that they're planning for Deegan. If Deegan goes out and crushes it in outdoors again, he's going to be outdoors 450 2026. And, if Tomac's going to resign, I mean, maybe just do Supercross only and then Deegan hops in outdoors. But that's what it seems like the problem is they're making sure that they have room for when Deegan hops up for outdoors.
Yeah,
But
I mean, he still, if he gets the title, he's got to defend it for 2026. So then they're going to put him outdoors. So we're talking a whole year from May. Um, and that's if he wins an outdoor title or if he wins a supercross title. I don't know. I'll be curious to see
It
what.
has to be
outdoor.
SX. It doesn't matter for outdoor, I don't think.
You're
It's
No,
talking
only
but
super.
I think
supercross.
all the rookies that usually start 450s outdoor and then they'll go into
Oh
Supercross.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so if he wins the title, he can defend next year, and then he's got to move up. So I mean, I guess I could see that the summer of 26,
Yeah.
him going to a 450. But I don't know. I just don't really see that deterring me away from Eli Tomac. I mean, do you think Deegan's going to get on a 450 and go and win? I don't know. I mean, he's struggling already.
Yeah.
No way.
Outdoors?
No chance.
No
That'd be
way.
wild.
No chance.
That would be wild. But yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, let's see what Tomac does outdoors. I hope he comes and lines up for outdoors. 'Cause, I mean, Jet's going to be back, I would assume. Sexton, defending champion. I mean, we could have a hell of an outdoor season lineup. And if Tomac goes out and just absolutely crushes it, then shit, they might not have a choice but to, bring him back on or drop Jay Coop, something along those lines. But
Do you
yeah, I
do you
don't
know
think
if
Tomac's gonna go anywhere else. And like I said, the cable clutch is a big factor for him. He loves that thing, and no other bike is using it. I don't know if that's something that Honda could just go throw a cable clutch on their bike because it's not production. So,
He wouldn't ride a Honda anyway. It's a completely different bike. I mean,
well, just like just as an example.
I know, but I mean,
I mean
I don't see him getting on an Austrian bike or a Honda because it's just so fucking different. He's not going to restart at 32 years old.
No, he won't.
I
Even
think
hey what
Ducati throws money at him. No,
the only thing he could go get on and feel competitive with
club
would be, yeah, see that
there's
name.
no way.
Different tire. But at Kawasaki,
Yeah,
I was thinking he could ride the Kawasaki, but he's already expressed he doesn't get along with management. Nothing has changed there. So
yeah.
well and if
No,
they sign Sexton
I
too,
think he'll just say,
so
"Fine, I'm done."
yeah,
If he gets forced into retirement, then whatever, so be it. But
he'll just start his own team like Reed did.
he'd go ride a Suzuki. That's like a fucking isn't that cable clutch? All
yeah, it is Kickstarter
It
too.
is.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
Dude,
perfect.
Kenny and Tomac on the HEP Twisted T Suzuki.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you can put. I mean, a factory they can do whatever the fuck they want, but I'm pretty sure they can put a cable clutch on anything. I just don't see him. I just don't see him going and riding some completely different ergonomic bike.
Well, he would probably definitely stay Jap bike. There's no way he's gonna go to an Austrian bike. 'Cause it sounds like there may only be one Austrian team next year, maybe one Husky out there, but it's yeah, I don't think he goes to Cowie or Honda with the Lawrences, so it'd either be Suzuki or Yamaha.
on the couch.
Yeah,
No, he ain't going out.
I think if he wants to ride a Yamaha, they're going to give him a bike. I don't see them not to.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, we'll see what it looks like outdoors when he comes back, and we'll go from there. And you kind of mentioned, Kenny. They report on how he's still been out. It sounds like he hasn't been riding during the week at all. Still has a knee. I think they said a shoulder issue too. That was another story going into it. But other than that, I'm trying to think. I don't know if there's any other stories. We already know Anderson is out for the season. Who knows what's going on there? I know we touched on it before. Possibly Sexton going there, and Anderson, dropping out. Maybe it all makes sense. It's not like Anderson's like, oh, I'm gonna bail and get ready for this outdoor season. It could be one of those cases to where he's not getting re-signed and he just said, "Fine, peace out. I'm not going to keep riding." Or maybe there are health things. I don't know. I mean, that's a sport for you. But Justin, any other developing stories before we jump into the track map?
I think one, I don't know if it was last week announced or I believe it may have been this week. Pulp talked about it. Will Hahn's going to Star. He's going to go back to being the 250 team manager like he was a few years ago. So there's
Yeah,
a
it
change
makes
over there
sense.
at
I mean,
Star.
Gas doesn't sound like they're going to have a team
Anyone.
next year, so that's cool. Yeah, either him or if he would have gone to club, that would have been cool too. Club's building pretty good
What do
staff
you
over
mean?
there.
What do you mean it's just Daniel Blair over there? Well, you're right. Blair will probably be out by the end of this in the outdoors or something.
Yeah.
I heard they're running into an issue because Feld doesn't want to give Blair credentials pass
Oh my
because
God.
the way he blew out MVC and everything like that. Now they're
That would
like
be so funny.
now they're like, how are we supposed to get credentials for Blair? So
Well,
it's kind of
he
funny.
said on one of their podcasts that he honestly wouldn't be going to. He said he wouldn't be going to many races anyways, but he could just be saying that because of it. But
Yeah, trying to cover his ass or
yeah, who knows? But all right, well, let's jump into this track map. Looking over it, obviously the weather played a factor. Not as big as what we were anticipating, but it made them force some changes. And CJ, they took out the sand section. We didn't have it for a couple rounds. It's supposed to be in this one. They took it out, and there was an over under bridge that they also took out. So we've seen this before. They anticipate weather. They kind of dumb down the track a little bit, but what do you think? How do you feel when they do this when the weather comes in that they try to make a more raceable track?
Well, I mean, I get it. They, especially coming off of what we had last weekend, I get, their thinking. I mean, you can't have an over under when
It's
if the
fucking
track,
piss and rain.
yeah, if the track conditions were like they were the week before, and you had an over under, I mean, that's just a quick risk. I mean, someone slides off the top of that,
Yeah,
someone dies or whatever. Yeah, I get it. I mean, I thought the track. I actually didn't hate the track. I thought that the track raced well. I mean, it looked like there were. It was definitely ruddy, but it. I mean, all the. I think that it made it for a very technical and the cream rise to the top. I mean,
hmm
saw in all the races, the best of the best were the guys that were up on the top. In the even in the qualifying, it was the best of the best up at the top. I think all of the all of the title contenders qualified like 1 through 5 in the 250 class or some shit like that. Like points, like top 5 in points for like 1 through 5. That's pretty cool.
yeah, yeah. No, I think so too. I mean, I'd rather same thing. Like, I'd rather them be able to move on the track and make some passes rather than having to roll shit because things were too big. But
I
yeah,
don't.
just I mean the weather turned out pretty good. What was
I don't
that?
get confused with. So I totally get it when weather's in play. Now when they go and they fucking change the track on a perfectly dry track because whatever there's
Right.
a quad or there's some other shit that shit pisses me off. I fucking hate. But if they think there's gonna get a rain and it's just gonna be ridiculous, okay, I'm on board with that. Don't fucking change the track because someone hit a quad and you're afraid that whatever
Yeah.
fucking Flacco is gonna try it.
Yeah, exactly. Let these guys make that decision for them. But yeah, Justin, I mean, kind of talk about the track and the mud. Last week there was that drama about who Stu Baylor was talking about. How they believe off-road racer in those muddy conditions could podium and go out there and win. We didn't see it this week, but I mean, yeah, I mean it was a great combination of ruddy, but not enough to where they weren't able to jump stuff or weren't able to blitz the whoops.
Yeah, I think the track crew did a great job at keeping it covered because I saw reports they got like 2.5 inches of rain or something like that from Friday night to Saturday morning. So the fact that it was even dry and raceable, I think it just made for a perfect track. I thought the layout was perfect. I really liked it. We had a really nice whoop section. If you were good at blitzing the whoops, it was a big advantage. You can see those 250 guys were struggling. A lot of people were having to jump through the whoops, and Davies was just absolutely blitzing them like it was nothing. Um, that long rhythm section, it left for a bunch of different options. And with that track, it had a bunch of different ruts that people were getting cross-rutted and going left and right, and Vial found that out pretty hard.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. I agree there. Well, let's jump into the lit kits. For me, I had two that really kind of stood out. Hymus, all red kit, looks sick head to toe, and then Roxon, he had a sick little like blue to white fade. But Justin, what stood out to you out there as far as the lit kit?
RJ Hampshire's that Philly, the Philadelphia Phillies kit, that was sick. I think Fly's been killing it with some of these one-off gear sets, and I think that Phillies one may be a top one for the season. I thought that was so sick.
Dang.
Yeah, I like that RJ kid. I think it got everybody talking.
Oh, yeah.
Had the pinstripes and everything, and then I like Deegan's belly flop kit. He had to go change back into his jailbird shit because he fucking took a left turn, belly flopped. That was an insane crash. I mean, he could have crashed anywhere else on the track, and the first
Hmm.
that was like the absolute worst place. I mean, but he was fine, and the bike stayed out of the water. But that
Yeah.
was gnarly.
It was a
Yeah.
perfect head first slide too, and he got up. You could tell he was laughing about it too when
Yeah,
he got up.
Yeah,
He like
he
he
was a good
threw his
sport about
goggles, and
it.
then he took his gloves off because they were fucking soaked. He just left his gloves on the track. He's like, "I'm fucking out of here."
oh, dude, it
Yeah.
was cold as fuck too. I'm sure he hit that water and just took his fucking breath away. Like, holy shit, what just happened?
Well,
Oh,
they said it
yeah.
was snowing. It was snowing at one point in the pits or something like that. It was that cold. So I think it was like 38 degrees at gate drop.
Well, not only that, I'm sure it's embarrassing as hell too.
That just belly flop into the fucking pond.
Yeah. Yeah, his bike just fucking stayed in one spot completely fine. He just fucking belly flopped straight into it. But yeah, that was funny. That was a good story. Let's go right into the qualifying. So looking at the overall, you
Beaumare
know,
first.
yeah, Julian Beaumere, first overall, talk about, all the stories about him not being on the right rut. So this is definitely a ready track. He took advantage of it. Garrett Marchbank's up there with a solid time two. Cole Davies third, Hamilton fourth, Deegan fifth, Tom Vial sixth. So yeah, I mean, like CJ talked about, I mean, other than Marchbanks, are just kind of far down, but all the heavy hitters were sitting up at the top when it came to the qualifying as well. But yeah, I mean, looking at some names that missed it, really nothing stood out. Dayton Briggs,
Missed
um,
out.
yep, 47th, respectable. But yeah, Vincent Ferrolo was the one that got the last spot. But Justin,
You-
we'll send out to you.
You're talking
Anyone
east.
impress you in qualifying?
Well, I think you can definitely tell by the times 250 West went first on the track, and it was probably a lot fresher, not as deep for that next qualifying session. So that's why I think you see a little bit more of the West guys up top than the East guys. I think that makes a little bit of a difference with how ready that track got. Other than that, I thought Beaumare qualifying fastest was kind of shocking, especially even though they were like the very first or second practice out there. Um, I mean, even with any types of ruts, Beaumare hasn't been that good, so that was
Yeah,
impressive.
yeah. A couple of names that stand out that didn't qualify very well. Faulkner 14th, Shimoda 15th,
That's
Thrasher
not shocking anymore. Forkner
16th.
qualifying bad is not shocking
That's
anymore.
true. Yep. Yeah.
It's just that's him. Like it's no big deal.
Yeah, that's kind of normal. How about see anything 250 qualifying that stood out to you before we jump over into the 450?
No, no. I mean, you saw those guys putting in some hard laps, and yeah, Julian, I think, is a little bit of a shocker, but I mean, Deegan was ripping. Marchbanks was a shocker, I think. I mean, he's been riding good, but he was fucking hauling ass in qualifying. Um, but yeah, I mean, like stuff like the Dayton Briggs or those guys that are normally on the bubble on the East and West. But when it comes to these shootouts, honestly, I don't know why they show up because
Yeah.
you just doubled your competition. You're already a bubble guy, and now you just doubled the competition. It's fucking pointless.
Yeah, East West shootouts. I think what they should just do is just do top 20 or something like that. Just throw them in there. Like, yeah, they'll still qualify for like gate pick, but they shouldn't do any kind of like overflow. Like, just do the top 20 guys on each coast, throw them in there, and go from there.
They should just do every East West shootout a triple crown. Then that way you just take the whatever top 20 and then you go to a qualifying or
We
something
lose
like
half
that.
the field in one night.
Yeah, but if you do like a top 20 though, you just do those 40 to make it to qualify, and then you literally have the best 20, 23 3 races, one night, East-West shootout.
That made me cross-eyed.
Yeah. Well, jumping over into 450 qualifying, CJ, you touched on it. We heard JS7 take our phrase captain qualifier. Chase Sexton gets it done with a 48.4. Webb not too far behind him. In second, Jay Coop with a good lap. Malcolm Stewart, Joey Savacci makes a good bounce back from his return last week in fifth. AP, Benny Bloss, Dylan Ferrandis, Mitchell Oldenburg, and then Christian Craig rounding out the top 10. We talked about Ken Roxon, 16th. You know, he's still battling some injuries. And then Dean Wilson, his return back, qualified 14th. But yeah, CJ, captain qualifier, gets it done again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's any surprise. It doesn't matter who's out on the track. It seems like Sexton's got the qualifying figured out. I mean, he's got to have the most for races attended and P1 qualifiers. He has to be atop of the chart. I mean, it's insane.
He
The dude
can fucking throw down a heater.
yeah, yeah. I mean, he looked. I mean, they showed it too, and it looked like he was fucking flying. Yeah, James. It was funny that like it seems like everybody's thinking it. Like, yeah,
Hmm.
it's kind of expected, but can he do it in the night show? He's kind of been that guy where it's like he most of the time is the fastest guy at the track. But what are we going to get in the night show? Is he going to eat shit? Is he going to throw away? Is he going to be a head case? And it's I think everybody's kind of I think he knows that. I mean, he's good, but he just I don't know. Just can you bring it or not?
Yeah, and Justin, what's crazy is every time you look at races, like he's always the favorite too. You know, everyone knows there's always
Mhm.
that chance, but everyone also knows that he should be winning. And when he goes out and throws a heater like this, you're like, "Yep, all right, yep, this is what we expect." Yeah, he's Sexton is the fastest guy out there. We know that, but we think he's gonna win, but he's got to show up in the night show. But
Well, that's just it's Sexton. He can put that one lap down and be blazing fast, and he proves he can be blazing fast in a race. But everyone just knows he's just gonna crash at some point. He just pushes it a little too far, or does something stupid and throws it away. So, everyone, like you said, everyone kind of expects him to be the fastest, and it's just like, well, I'm just gonna tuck my front doing something stupid, or I'm just gonna run into the back of someone and fucking throw a race away, and I don't even have to win. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
yeah, no, that's true. It's great. I don't know if there's been an athlete in any sport that can be so hot at times, but then so cold at the same time.
Did you say that they hinted at Stu was working with him again?
Yeah, so I did. Stu actually mentioned that on the broadcast. He said that he's been at the track with them recently. Because the reason why I sound like that he talked about the KTM and how the KTM is different. And he's like, I've been at the track. I watched Chase Sexton ride this KTM and this. So that's where it kind of made me think that maybe they are working together. Maybe he just stopped by. But I don't know if you guys heard that, but JSN, he didn't mention that he was down at the track watching Chase
Who
Sexton ride the KTM.
who is
So
who is Sexton riding with during the week? Is it with Vial and Shimoda, or is it with Kenny and Kitchen?
I think it's with Kenny and Kitchen.
Okay, so
Yeah, they kind of run their own thing.
I wonder if Stu's working with them or working with Kitchen maybe too as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, it was interesting. Um, yeah, just kind of a little tidbit, but if it is cool, I mean, I don't know. I mean, both of those guys are known for going fast and crashing a lot, so maybe that's not the best partnership, but hey, whatever gets the job done. Um, all right, let's go into the heats. So of course the first heat was 250 West. Hayden Deegan gets the win. Impressive. I know he came back to pass the other two gentlemen to get the win. Cole Davies with a second. Juju third. Marchbanks fourth. Shimoda fifth. Smith sixth. Enzo Lope seventh. Cody Schock eighth. And then Hunter Yoder ninth for them to qualify. But Justin, we'll go to you. Great ride by Hayden Deegan. Showed that he is the fastest guy on the start bike right now.
Yeah, you're gonna regret that when we start talking about the main, because he definitely is not the fastest guy on the star bike, it seems like right now, and he got proved it this weekend. Um, but yeah, 250 West, it kind of was a boring race, honestly. It kind of was just like, all right, no one was really seemed to be pushing it crazy hard. There wasn't a lot of action. I mean, besides Deegan really making two passes, there really wasn't much going on in that. in that heat.
Yep. And then CJ jumping over to 250 East. Seth Hammaker gets the win. I hope these results are right because Racer X doesn't have times on here. But then RJ Hampshire, Highness, Thrasher, Bennett, Volan, Faulkner, Colin Park, and then Henry Miller all advance into the 250 East. The biggest thing that stood out to there, Tom Vial took an absolute digger. DNF had to go to LCQ, CJ.
Yeah, I mean, Vial, because he's kind of been that engine that could. He just keeps coming and coming and coming. So it's kind of surprising so he does something like that. It's kind of out of character. But Seth
Hmm.
Hammaker just continues to impress. I don't know. It's bizarre. AC just randomly on the broadcast one day says, I think Hamburger's gonna win, and fucking dude, he's been lights out ever since AC brought him up on Race Day Live. He's
Hmm.
literally like, it was literally like he just gave him this boost of confidence that like you're the man, and like there's people that have done this that are rooting for you, and he's just fucking good now. Like he goes out there. He's always had that speed. I remember watching him one in Phoenix, and
Well,
like he's had what's up.
I was gonna say he had that one. He's won a race like every single season he's raced, I think, but he just crashes at some point and
Hmm.
knocks himself out.
He has that raw speed, but I think sometimes a little bit of confidence goes a long ways, and I think that's what we're seeing. Like
Yeah.
he ran front after that whole AC thing was fastest qualifier, ran up front, and now it's like he thinks he belongs up there. And I don't know. I'm a huge fan. He seems like a good kid.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree. He was very similar to like a Nate Thrasher. Like Thrasher's gonna win a race, every year. But then he's gonna crash and he's gonna get hurt, like the talent star. But yeah, it's cool to see Hammer kind of turn the corner here with this PC team. Who knows? Maybe he's having the confidence. Maybe he's getting extra attention because all the other PC guys are down. But yeah, I mean he's been running lights out. He's been qualifying well. His starts have been good, and yeah, I mean we'll talk about this title chase down the road. But I mean, yeah, he's been solid. But Justin, I mean we didn't get a chance to talk about it last week, but I mean Vial, absolute shit show out there, gets a
Oh my
DNF, and
god.
then comes back into this and gets another DNF straight into a heat. I mean, like CJ said, he's supposed to be Mr. Consistent, Mr. Reliable, and man, the rails are just coming off the VL train.
Well, you would even think with the weather, I mean, him racing MXGP, they normally race in some gnarly weather. You think he'd probably be a little bit better in the slop and, some of the rain and deep rutted stuff. But yeah, like you said, a complete shit show. He was out there doing fucking donuts in the middle of the track. His bike's just launching everywhere. He's doing burnouts on the plywood last weekend. And then this weekend, the heat race, he almost breaks his neck and breaks his shoulder jumping off the track. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's going ape shit, and he might have blew the title in the last 2 weeks because Hampshire and Hammaker, I mean, Hampshire got bailed out this week. We'll get to that, but Hammaker's proven to be consistent and kind of shining right now in that 250 East.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I think he's let two competitors that are faster than him back into the fight, and I don't think it's a good sign for him.
Well,
No, because
especially with
Vial isn't faster than either one of them.
That's what I'm saying. He's let two
Yeah.
competitors back into this fight that are faster than he is.
Yeah.
Well, especially like Hampshire's attitude, like the dog Hampshire, it's like a never give up, never die attitude. So that's even worse for him to have a little bit of confidence
One
knowing that,
with him,
he's back in this because we thought he was out of this, a couple weeks ago, and now Hampshire's back in the fight. So he's got the confidence on his side too.
with Hampshire too, like this is it. I mean, he knows it. He's
Hmm.
pushing.
He's up next year.
Yeah, he's pushing 30 or whatever the fuck. 28 years old on a 250F. I don't think anybody expects him to go light anything up on a 450, but he can't ride a 250 again because
Yep.
I mean this is it. I think this is. I'm sure it's kind of in the back of his mind like this is maybe my. I mean, I know he's had some good races, but I mean, let's all be realistic. He's not going to go win anything on a 450.
Right.
And so I think for him, I think this is kind of it. This is his fucking. This is the last time he could be on top.
Yeah, he's gonna enjoy the glory while he can. All right. Well, let's go to the 450 heats. Heat one, AP gets a win. I mean, he's been talk about turning it around. I mean, the way how his year started was terrible, but he's really turned around ever since Daytona, I guess it would be. But yeah, I mean, he gets the win here. Cooper Webb second, Stewart, McElrath, he's been running great. Justin Hill, Dean Wilson qualifies straight out of his heat. Brandon Mitchell Harrison and Christian Craig. But yeah, CW AP, he's really turned around since the beginning of this season.
Yeah, surprising to me because I thought he was absolutely terrible. I mean, he was fucking so bad at the beginning of the year. But I mean, these conditions kind of suit him too. He's good in this. He gets confident when it gets this wet, treacherous. I mean, Benny Bloss too. I thought Benny Bloss looked really good in qualifying. I was surprised. I
Hmm.
thought Benny Bloss looked really good. But yeah, I mean, it is surprising because he had done nothing at the beginning of the year, but then it's really not when it comes to this shit. I think if tomorrow they went and raced in Glendale or Anaheim, he would get his fucking ass waxed again.
Yeah, he could be one of those guys that he's good in the ruts and that's where he strikes. Because I mean, yeah, he's really turned it up. Going over to Heat 2, Justin Chase Sexton gets the win, followed by Jay Coop, Barsha, Bloss with a fourth, Roxon, Nichols, Oldenburg, Savachi, and Frederick Noren. But yeah, Sexton goes out, carries on that speed from qualifying and gets it done.
Yeah, he made it pretty easy. Made it look pretty easy in Heat 2. Uh, like CJ said, Bloss looked real good pretty much all day, and I was gonna highlight him in Heat 2. He got a fourth. That's pretty good for him. He's been riding really good on the beta the last like 4 or 5 weeks. I think he's got like 3 or 4 top tens in a row. So he seems to be gelling with that beta. He got a contract extension through the end of 2026. So um, keep running good for him.
I was just gonna say that didn't they just announce his contract
Mhm.
extension? That maybe that makes him. Maybe sometimes when these guys are on those contract bubbles, they kind of ride like shit. They're all fucking tight and worried about what they're gonna do because I mean, really, who else is going to sign Benny Bloss? So, I mean, maybe who knows? Maybe that
Mhm.
lifts up and let him ride.
Oh yeah, no, I'm
Do
sure
you?
it takes a lot of stress off of his shoulders for sure. What was that, Justin?
No, never mind. Good. You're good.
All right. Well, let's jump over into the LCQ. Gavin Towers gets the win. Tom Vial makes it with a second. Michael Mosman, he also had to go through the LCQ. But honestly, that's really not that big of a surprise. Hardy Munoz gets that final spot. But yeah, Justin, two for the LCQ. Great ride by Gavin Towers. He's been riding really good, and for him to make the night show like this and the East West Showdown is pretty impressive for him.
Yeah, Towers is finally coming around on Supercross. He was on Star Amateur program. They kind of
I
gave
think
him a
he's
trial
working with
run.
Zacho now too.
Is he?
I
What
think so.
with that'd be like with Jack Chambers and everyone probably, I think, down there.
Maybe.
But yeah, he went to Europe and came back and finally gave Supercross another chance, and it's cool to see him finally making mains kind of pretty consistently. And like you said, for East West Shootout, that's pretty good for him. And he held off Vial too. So
Yeah.
I thought Vial may have would have tried to make the pass and try to just get clean out front and not have to worry about anything, but he couldn't get around him.
Yep. Yeah. No, a good race for all of them. And then see they're going to the 450 LCQ. Grant Harlan gets the win. Kyle Chisholm is in. Kevin Moran, Jeremy Hand, and then Rod Bell just misses out of that cup. But yeah, I mean, like I said, you could throw this lineup every week at the LCQ, and you're probably gonna have the same combination of these guys every single time.
I think the biggest, I don't know that it's a shock because last week was just a fucking bizarre mud pit, but it's crazy because didn't Rodville just podium?
He
Yeah,
got a fourth.
fourth. Yeah.
He got a fourth because he dropped down to 250 for last weekend.
Oh, that's right. He
He
raced
dropped down to
250 last week.
250.
Yeah, and then he can't make a main on a 450,
450. Yeah.
which is
That's
pretty,
what he
that,
said. That's what he said. He's like, that's why. He's like, have you seen me in any mains in 450s? That's why he's dropped down because he's been running ever since. I'm like, well, hey, that's fucking smart. Cool.
yeah, I thought that was kind of surprising. I mean, he's a cool cat, but it was just I saw that and I was like, God damn, dude was I thought he was on the podium, but whatever, fourth place, and I can't even make the fucking night.
Yeah.
Or
Well, even Logan Letzel, I think he got ninth last week, top 10 in 450 main. This time he gets 11th in LCQ.
did you see those betting odds that had Logan Letzel ahead of Justin Hill for like for a win. Like it was like plus 8,000 for Letzel to win and plus 10,000 for Justin Hill to win. And people were like, "How
Really?
the fuck is this even?"
Yeah, probably because they're expecting like a full mutter like last
Still, what
weekend,
the
but
hell?
that's still ridiculous. You could tell some of these Vegas odds. Like today they have an odd of Benny Bloss favored over Christian Craig, and it's like minus one
Dude,
twenty or
fuck
minus
yeah.
one
I would
thirty.
take
I
that,
put I
honestly.
put $20 on Benny Bloss right away. I'm like, dude, what the fuck are these guys doing? Give me that shit, dude.
No, that's Bloss has been better. Craig's has been bad. I mean, we'll talk about it in the main, but yeah, it's been ugly there. Well, all right, yeah, shout out to those guys, LCQ. Well, let's jump into the main event. We'll talk about the red flag. You know, Daxon Bennett went down. He ended up getting cross-started, hashtag. Actually, I think he got
Cross
cross-jumped.
dropped,
I think he
yeah.
got cross-jumped by, it was either Maximus Volan or Cody Shock. It looked like it was a club bike, but cross-jump, got taken out. He was knocked out cold, said he was out for like at least 30 seconds, had like convulsions and shit. So, yeah, that's a tough look. But yeah, I mean, CJ, for a guy that's already been benched in outdoors, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if we'll really see Daxton Bennett back, especially not on a factory ride.
Yeah, I mean, even his post even kind of was like a little cryptic. He was like, I mean, I get it. He just fucking smashed his face, and it looks like he hit his face hard as fuck.
Hmm.
I mean, he
Yeah,
hit
I think he went head first.
he hit the ground in a hurry, but like that post that he posted, his face looked like someone fucking hit him in the head with a bat.
Yeah.
I mean, his lips were busted, his eyes were black. But yeah, I mean, even his like little message was like, we're gonna work together at a time that works best whenever I feel like coming back or something. I don't know. I mean,
Good.
for the way that Star operates and as cutthroat as they are, honestly, Moseman, Bennick, like I just don't see them. I see them going somewhere else. I don't see them freeing up bikes for those guys that are not they're not competitors.
Yeah, I
Hey,
agree. I think they got Carson or Tiger Wood, I think, or Carson Wood, one of the Wood
Carson
guys.
Wood.
Yeah, coming up and comer through there too. So, yeah, no, I think Bennett's got, like I said, he got benched in outdoors already. I think it's kind of, it sounds like he's had a back crash before. So, yeah, but go ahead, Justin.
Do you think maybe not kind of keep who they already have with 250 because they got Anstey Brown. I don't know if Thrasher's on a 1 year deal, but they got Deegan. He'll probably be back again for SX. They already have their amateur kids signed, so they can bring up one or two of them and maybe
Hmm.
save some money by not re-signing like Bennick and re-signing Mosman and use that for Tomac.
I don't think they care about money. Honestly, they're fucking insane. I think
Yeah,
they.
it's true. It'd be Bobby Reagan just say
Yeah,
fuck it.
isn't the Star technically just a 250 side anyway? So I don't think they would take
Well,
the
yeah. So
250
yeah,
money to put toward
yeah.
the
I guess you're
452.
right. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yamaha, it's still yacht factory Yamaha, like out of USA Yamaha, but Star's just running the team.
But no, I
So
mean
all the
Star wants to
money,
have that money left. I mean they got Dudney, which Dudney has a
He's terrible.
lot of hype. I guess he's just an absolute freak when it comes to outdoors, from what I've heard. So that'll be interesting. But they got him, like you said, they got the Woods kid coming up too. So I mean, fuck, they're gonna take a chance on those guys over fucking Moseman and Bennick.
Yeah, I mean that Dudney dude looks terrible in Supercross. So hopefully he can.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah,
Um,
I've
that's what
seen,
it sounds like. It sounds like he's a freak outdoors, but
well,
Supercross it's kind of it's new to
well,
him.
even that Wood kid, I heard is like a freak. I think he won like all the B classes or something like that at Loretta's and was ridiculously fast. He's only like 15.
Oh yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his name.
I don't know what the con.
Dudney, I think it was Dudney, wasn't it? 'Cause Dudney's
Was
really
it
young.
was either yeah Dudney or Wood. It was
I
one of
think
the
he's only
two. But
like
yeah,
14 or 15 years old right now.
yeah, and dude, he absolutely blew everyone out of the water in B class, and they're like, this dude just outdoors is just insane. Like, you
Yeah.
have to sign him
It's
because he was
It's
on Cowie.
yeah.
surprisingly you can't fucking do anything in Supercross. If you're that skilled on a dirt bike, you think you could do something. I mean, he's
Yeah.
getting fucking 10th in Supercross SMX next or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. That was very surprising seeing that. But hey, who knows? But back to this main event. So Cole Davies, he gets the win, in impressive action. We had the Red Cross. bailed out a lot of guys, especially RJ Hampshire. I think he was down that first turn. But they get the red cross flag. You know, Cole Davey was able to work his way up through the field, make some passes. But I mean, damn good, impressive ride. I mean, it was a rough track. It had everyone there. He really showed what he was capable of. And I mean, the only thing that I can think of right now is I hope he can bring this fire into outdoor supercross. It's out of reach. I don't think he's a threat for this title. He would need Deegan to have a DNF. But yeah, CJ, to me, you know, incredible ride. But to me, I'm just like, please bring this to outdoors and bring the speed out there.
Yeah, I don't know how Cole rides outdoors. I mean, he's very, very technically sound. Now is he hang it on the edge, fucking wide open, crazy outdoors? I don't know. But he's very, very technically sound outdoors. It sucks because he's a few very freakish errors away from being right there with Deegan for this title. Um, but yeah, I mean, the other thing too is like these red flags. Like I don't want to sound like I'm like careless about people getting hurt, but like I feel like they've been insanely red flag happy lately. I'm not like I don't know what the fix is or but you're changing you're changing the trajectory of people's careers by doing this shit. I mean, RJ Hampshire was in fucking like 20th place and now Steph Hamaker could have had a 15-point lead, changes his whole career if he go and wins this title. And instead, he gets bailed out by a red flag, and he's got like a 2 or 3 point lead because RJ went from 20th to second place start. I mean, what happened to the days of putting the fucking yellow flag down, putting the yellow flag out, and having them roll the section next to the guy? And I feel like they red flag for fucking everything. Like anything happens at all, and they're like red flag. Let's just restart the whole fucking race, or at least stack.
Now, I mean, this one sounds justified. It sounds like the guy was unconscious and having seizures in the middle of the track, so it sounded like it was valid. But
I'm not saying getting hurt is not going to happen, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like they could go around the guy and at least stagger start him. How do you allow a guy to go from 20th place and get a free fucking shot at getting back up to the front? That's crazy. At least stagger start the motherfucker in 20th.
yeah, I
I
think
think
they
we
should
have
say it
to
was
do
staggered
that.
start only.
I
The
think
only
we
way there
have
should be a
to.
complete restart is if there's like a fucking 15-man pile up in the first turn that they didn't even get anywhere. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think if one lap is done, I think it should just be staggered start 100% of the time. Don't even like why do a full restart? You know, we even saw it a few years ago in outdoors where Deegan like had the race 75% done and they did a full restart and he lost, you know. So
It just
there's
doesn't
a
make
lot of crazy rules like that that are just like there's got to be
So
some kind of change.
I was listening to Pulp before we got on, and they were talking about the red flags and kind of the staggered starts. If you're the leader, you kind of get fucked a little bit because you're already in the apex of the corner. You're right there. You have no speed coming into that. Everyone else behind you kind of has a rolling start coming into that
Yeah, but I'd
corner
still rather
and
have
carry
that than a full
momentum.
restart.
Well, so do you think you line them up all on the gate, 1 through 20, and you got like how they do for qualifying? The guys just firing them off one by one, and they're just going however that last lap, whatever was recorded, is on the inside gate. Whoever was first is on the inside gate, and bam, the guy just pointing and firing them off or whatever. So then that way they each get the whole, your get speed coming into the first corner. It's an even. Everyone's starting at the same length, same speed coming in that first corner. It's just a bam, 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 fire off 1 through 20.
Yeah,
I just
anything like that works. But yeah, there's got to be something to where if someone's leading that they still get the advantage of leading, not oh you
Because
get to restart all over again, or hey you had a 7 second lead now it's back to nothing.
yeah.
they were talking about doing that for outdoors because there's not enough room on an outdoor start
And
on
do a
all of them
stagger
to
start,
do a
yeah.
staggered start. So, I mean, if they're doing it, I think they did an outdoors last year. I think it happened one time.
The
Like,
Deegan
why
thing,
aren't
I
they?
thought.
Yeah, yeah. Why aren't they doing it in Supercross? I would much rather, I think, almost see that than the staggered start.
Yeah.
I just don't understand the justification. Like the ruling makes zero sense to me. So because somebody else crashed, everyone gets to start over and try again. So like that had no effect on RJ being in 20th at all. Like he just gets a free fucking pass because somebody else crashed. That's bizarre. That's a fucking bizarre ideology to me.
Yeah, and look at Bo
Yeah.
Mayer. Bo Mayer literally was running third. And then his start, he comes out and his fucking rut, he just spun out the gate and he just had no drive and was dead last into the first corner.
Yeah,
And
the
it's
full
like,
restarts, they need to get rid of it, and you just need to go straight to some kind of staggered start, or like Justin said, point and go. But yeah, these complete restarts, we've
and
seen it time and time again, just kind of be a complete shit show. I mean, even stagger start. I mean, we've seen guys lose because of a stagger start too, because they lose it. So I mean,
But
I don't see why
at
it's
least
so hard to be like, hey, you had a 5 second lead. All right, go. Let me count to five. All right, next guy go. All right, next guy go. You know, like I don't see how why that's so hard to implement.
Max lost to the guy in second place. He didn't lose to the guy that was in 20th. That's the bull. That's
True.
the part that's bullshit.
Yeah, no, it's a big impact on the title, and yeah, he 100% got back. I mean, not that it would ever happen, but title's on the line. Deegan gets a dog shit start in Utah. You know, maybe Bobby calls down to Mosiman and say, hey, if Deegan gets a bad start, tuck the front lay on the ground
Dude,
so you can't move,
I,
and let's do a restart.
I
yeah, hey, break a leg out there, Mosman. I'll pay for your
Just act,
hospital
yeah, that's it. Just act like
bills.
you can't move, and they'll
Yeah.
red flag it. I mean, we'll do this 2, 3 times if
Well,
we have to.
well,
We
they,
got six
well,
riders
they,
out here.
Pulps talked about it, how people sometimes in outdoors riders will fucking first corner, dude. They'll lay fucking dead for a little bit, hoping that they fucking call a red flag, so
well,
they fucking can restart and they don't have to be dead last and 30 seconds down.
well, I'm pretty sure if you're the reason for the red start, you're not allowed to line back
Yeah,
up.
right.
Well, look at No, McAdoo did it and fucking
That's
died
true.
and then got a
Yeah,
podium
that is true.
Yeah,
at Atlanta.
Usually
It
that's
was
not the
Atlanta.
case. But yeah, that's true. But yeah, I agree. It's definitely a flaw in the system. They need to fix these red flags to where it doesn't end up, screwing, someone over, whether it's someone that is going to get a huge points advantage or someone that was in a good position and they fell back. Because that's making a huge impact. Um,
Can we?
digging, go ahead.
I was like about to say, can we talk about Davies yet?
Yeah, that's what we were talking about it. But we'll go back over
Yeah,
to you. But yeah, that's what we're saying. Is it going to
Dave.
translate into outdoors?
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, like Davies just in that race, just his outside line in that first corner was a huge difference in that race,
Hmm.
and he was using outside lines. It seemed like he was just able. It almost reminded me of like a Cooper Webb a little bit, how he was just coming into some of those corners and just pivoting and then going underneath people and just moving around. Like his racecraft is just very impressive for being a rookie. It's
Well, I
amazing.
think this track really showed that if you could find the quickest lines, it stood out because you could see that even once Cole Davies got around all these guys and he got past Deegan, I mean, he put about I think it was like 5 or 6 seconds on Deegan, but once Deegan saw what lines Cole Davies was doing, he was able to narrow that gap down back into 2 seconds. So I think this is definitely one of those tracks that if you could find those smoother lines early and do it behind everyone, you could kind of catch up to the field and then kind of check out. But yeah, I mean,
Davies was a half a second faster than Deegan, his fastest lap. And
yeah,
he passed everyone. He passed Deegan, he passed Hampshire, he passed Hammaker straight up and ran away.
yeah. No, I mean, like I said, impressive ride for Cole Davies, right? I mean, CJ, you touched up on it, right? He had some rookie mistakes. I mean, you look at it. I mean, he has the most hype right now, but you look at the points and he's 20 points back. He's not as close as what you would think. Um, but yeah, at the end of the day, Hayden Deegan gets a second, extends his lead over Julian that gets a 12th. I mean, this title is basically kind of wrapped up for Hayden. What they still got Colorado and then Utah left, so still 2 races to go. RJ, like we talked about, gets bailed out, gets a third, Hammaker fourth, Shimoda fifth, Vial a sixth, like you said. So, all the heavy hitters really 1 through 6 up there. Marchbank seventh, Volan solid eighth, Jordan Smith pretty quiet there with a ninth, Hymus with a 10th. Already talked about Beaumare. Forkner, I mean, I don't know what to think of Forkner 16th. I mean, he's been bad all season long, CJ, and it can't be the triumph because we've seen Jordan Smith do just fine on Jalek Swoll, but yeah, Forkner with a 16 something's just I don't know, maybe that's just it.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's done. I think he's just mentally I don't think he has it in his head to do it anymore. He was my pick to win the title going into
Yeah.
the season. I mean, I thought I thought Faulkner was going to have a fresh start. He's going to come out. I mean, we've seen him. He's been the fastest guy at the track basically his whole career, and he just looks terrible. He looks like he can't even ride the bike. He looks uncomfortable. He looks like he's like top heavy.
Yep.
I don't know. It's fucking bizarre. Unless he goes out there and lights it up in outdoors, I really don't see a future for him beyond this.
No, and
Yeah, with
honestly, like I
well,
don't. Has he ever been an outdoors guy, anyways, or he's never gotten to the point to ride
I mean,
outdoors because he's gotten hurt?
for pro circuit, I mean, he's had some flashes of speed. He just fucking gets hurt all the time.
well, yeah, he's normally hurt. He's normally hurt. He's fast in Supercross, breaks a leg or something in Supercross, and then misses outdoors or
Faulkner was the one.
returns for the final 4 rounds.
Faulkner was the one that was bombing all those insane hits at Glen Helen that year that they built those massive jumps. He
Was
was
that?
like,
I think it was his rookie year. I think
yeah, he was like the only dude on the 250F bombing fucking 180-foot triple step ups and shit.
we need to bring Glenn Helen back.
That's crazy. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's crazy. Like this, I don't know if there's ever been a more hyped guy coming into a season that's been the biggest letdown. I mean, in the
Oh, and
sport, I mean, nothing really comes to mind, but I mean, yeah, it's been a huge disappointment.
Triumph's got him signed on a 2-year deal, so they have him locked in until next year.
Yeah, that's it hasn't been good, that's for sure. But
But he also did. I mean, I know he was riding like shit before he just had a baby, but he just had a baby too. So I bet. I wonder how much that's playing into it. But still, he better figure it out. Otherwise, he's gonna be freaking kicked out of the house.
dang, out of the house. CJ, what about you? Anything else stand out to you as far as this East-West shootout main event?
No, no. I mean, I think the hitters that mattered ended up, kind of keeping it together. I don't think there was really any major changes. Vial, I think, was the biggest. Uh, kind of screwed himself over the biggest. RJ got saved by the bell, so he's still in the hunt there with Hamker. Otherwise, Hamker would have a fucking 10-point lead right now.
Yeah,
Uh,
so let's talk about that East-West shootout right now. So
Yeah, it's tied.
RJ,
It's
Hampshire,
tied.
and Hammaker are tied at 117. Vial is at 115. Hymus at 103. So Hymus, to me, I think he's out of it at this point. Chances of all three of these guys going out are probably, unlikely. But Justin, we'll go with you. Who are you going with for this East Coast title right now?
I think I just have to pick Hammaker. He just showed the consistency the last few weeks. He's got the speed. He's proved to always been there.
Has
I
he
think
though? Has he shown the
well
consistency?
the last few weeks he definitely have. I
Or has
mean,
he
you only
gotten
have eight
bailed out? I mean,
rounds,
he
so you
he
have
had the
three, four.
kamikaze in the mud pit, kamikaze
Well,
off the
I
start.
mean, but that
This
ain't
weekend
his
he got
fault.
bailed out. I
Well, I mean,
mean,
everyone started at the same exact start. Hammaker didn't really get bailed out. Hammaker was in the lead when they called the fucking red flag. So if anything, Hammaker backed up his position pretty much. I mean, he kept the
yeah.
points lead. So you can't really say he got bailed out. Hampshire got bailed out. That's who got bailed out. Deegan got bailed out. I think
Well,
Deegan was like
that's what
fifth
I'm
or
saying
seventh.
though. You're saying like Hampshire has been consistent lately, but
No,
I
Hammaker,
think he's
not
been.
Hampshire.
Oh,
Hammaker.
oh, so
I
you have
said Hammaker.
Hammaker as your tighter. I
Yeah.
thought you said Hampshire.
No,
Um,
Hammaker's been consistent. That's it. I mean, he just proved that the last few weeks he can he's got a great starts and he's won a couple. He's got the confidence. Back-to-back starts this week in East West shootout. And I mean, I don't know how I couldn't pick him for championship.
yeah, yeah. See, I think you have to lean towards Hammaker, but you also know in your back of your mind. But it's also the same with RJ that either one of those two can hit the deck at any point and throw up a 17th.
yeah,
But
I think for me, either one of those guys. I think Vial shot himself in the foot. I think Vial at two. I mean, if it was just RJ or just Seth, I think okay, yeah, Vial has a shot, but because they are so volatile, they do both fucking land on their head a lot. But the chances of both of them doing it and both of them are faster than Vial, I think it's hard to pick. Honestly, I think you pick one of their names out of a hat and you hope you're right because
Hmm.
they're both really fast. They both find themselves in the dirt a lot. I think RJ wants it more. I think, like we talked about, RJ has more to lose. Seth, it would be cool to win a title. Obviously, everyone wants to win a title, but RJ knows that this is it. So I would not be surprised if RJ goes back and puts in some serious fucking homework and comes out and gets it done. But I honestly I think it's a fucking coin toss between those two.
Well, I think Mitch is praying Hammaker can freaking finish it out. I think it's like the first title since like 2014 or something like that for Mitch, or 2015. I think it was Justin Hill in like 2015 was his last Supercross title.
I mean, it would be cool. Definitely, it would be cool to see PC get another title. I mean, they were just so dominant. But it'd also be cool to see RJ go back to back on two different coasts.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
who knows? I mean, Tom Bell's definitely not out of it. I mean, this title is going to go down to the showdown in Utah too, so who knows what's going to happen there. Um, but yeah, I mean, all three of these guys have shown to make mistakes. Hammerker's been the most consistent all season, so I mean, you got to lead with him and think that he's going to get the job done. And then going over to the 250 West standings, Deegan 149, Julian 135. So he's got that 14-point lead. Cole Davies 129. So he's still 20 points back even after this weekend. Um, but yeah, I mean, this one kind of a bummer. It just kind of flamed out. Um, I mean, this rivalry was great, but as soon as we started getting more to the East Coast, I mean, Deegan really separated himself from Juju CJ.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's. I mean, I think several weeks ago we kind of said it's Deegan's to lose now. Once Julian kind of laid off the gas, Cole had his errors in Glendale. He was the fastest guy again in Glendale and had that freak ass accident off the start for that third round. Um, I mean, it's his to lose. He's definitely capable of hitting the deck. So 14 and 20 points isn't. I mean, it's still within one race, so anything could happen. But I mean, honestly, he just rides around on the bike at 90%. He should be able to fucking ride into the sunset.
How's that make you
Deegan.
feel saying Deegan's going to get a Supercross title?
That is about time. Year 5 or whatever he's on.
CJ really wants to throw up deep down. He really does. He really hates saying that.
Hmm.
Hey,
Yep.
did you see Deegan almost fucking ghost ride it Ronnie Mack into the side of Hammaker?
Yeah, when
Oh
he tried to.
yeah, when they were such a triple. Yeah.
Dude, I was like, oh my God, dude, that would have been so bad.
Dude,
Like,
the
dude,
fact
just
that he fucking got that thing to stop on a fucking dime,
I
I
think
was
that was
like,
all front brake too. I don't even know if he even got his foot on his rear brake. I think that was almost all front brake. I'm like, fuck, dude.
if
Didn't
he
he do
did,
that?
dude.
Do that a couple weeks ago and then go through the net?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, he did. He
was
tried
it
he tried to
Deegan?
do the quad.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
like
it was I
over
can't
his
remember
head.
where it was, but yeah, he did the quad and he went over the berm and underneath the net. But yeah, I mean that's the shit he's got to learn from that. It's like, dude, you don't need to do, no one else is doing it in the race. Like you don't need to do it. Um, but yeah, I mean I agree. This is his pattern to lose. Looks like he's going to, take this one home. He's going to have his 250 outdoor title. He's going to have his two SMX titles. He's going to have his 250 Supercross title. Justin, I mean, I don't know. This YouTube sensation is kind of showing that he kind of
Fuck,
knows how to
dude.
ride a dirt bike.
He's gonna have one real Supercross title, and everyone's talking about him being the GOAT.
I'm just saying, who knows? But I mean, he's looking good. He's exciting. Obviously, he's got the drama too to go with it. But you can't deny it. The kid being in the sport makes it so much more entertaining and exciting. And I'm kind of getting to a point where I'm ready for outdoors. I'm ready for the shift. Supercross is great, but I'm ready to see these guys go out there and just fucking rip an outdoor track with 40 guys on the gate and just let it hang out there.
There's nothing better than just 30 minutes plus two of outdoors, just the best and the best, just ripping. And what's cool about the 250 class right now, there's so many people that are fast. I mean, you have battles literally everywhere around the track. Everywhere you look, you just have some sick battle going on. And I think those
Now you got
outdoor
Deegan 30
group,
seconds ahead of the whole pack.
yeah, right.
All right, let's jump
You
into the
might
450.
you might as well
Um,
get a Deegan 38 fucking tattoo right over your
I'm
heart
gonna
so
get
you
the
can
Roman
pledge to
numerals
him.
that he has.
Yeah, you
38.
might as well get 38 tramp stamp on your lower back.
Yeah.
Cole rode
Um,
yet?
what's that?
Has Cole rode any of the outdoors yet?
I thought he did a
Uh,
couple of combines last year, and Drew Adams spanked him.
no, he won one of them, and I think he crashed out of the
Justin,
other.
no,
Jeez,
no,
dude, this guy's
wrong.
just trying to hate so bad. He's this Deegan
Yeah,
lover over here, just slobbing that knob.
thought about Drew Adams. He's supposed to be really good outdoors.
Well, I
He
think he
made his
top 10.
debut
Did he
last
top
year.
10? He top 10 Ironman, was
I
it?
don't
Or
think he
top
did.
15
He ran
Ironman?
up there, but I think he fell out of the top 10.
He was
But
also
yeah, yeah, he's going to be out there. That's going to be good. Davies, yeah, I know he like out at Loretta's. He didn't like win his motos. I think he won a moto, but I just
Yeah,
don't think I think Davies is probably going to be maybe battling for 5, 6, 7 is my guess. I
I
don't
don't
think he's
think
going to have the
Davies
outdoor
race
speed.
outdoors. I'm not seeing anything for him outdoors.
Cole. Like he's very technical. I don't see him hanging it out fucking on the edge.
Yeah, I agree.
It's
Let's
like,
just hope that he doesn't get hurt doing outdoors. That he's good to
do you
come
think
back.
he's like a, does he remind you of like a mini jet, a little bit outdoors?
No,
He has
Or not outdoors, but just his riding, just
he
the way
seems
he rides.
no.
he seems
Very technical.
he seems very stable on the bike. Like
He
he
just to
like
me he
he
looks small.
He makes it look
He
easy.
looks small on the bikes where I feel like in outdoors it's gonna get a little too. I think he's gonna kind of get worn out in outdoors. That's
yeah.
just
I
me.
mean RC's like 5 fucking 2.
Yeah, but dude, he's a fucking brick house, dude. He's fucking stocky.
Well, yeah,
He's a ginger.
after he stopped riding and he gained fucking 200 pounds,
He's a ginger too.
fucking rolling around.
All right, Justin, let's get into the 450 main event. Man, this looked like it was going to be maybe another Cooper Webb come and pull the rug out from underneath them, but no, Sexton got the job done. Honestly, this was a must win. Um, every race from here on out with Sexton is a must win. If Sexton wins out, he wins the title. It would even end up being a tie at the end of points, but if Sexton wins, he beats Cooper Webb. So this is going to get interesting. The one thing that I do think Colorado and Utah, Sexton has an advantage over Cooper Webb, harder packed tracks. So I mean, we'll see. We got 2 rounds. East Coast Pittsburgh this weekend is East Rutherford. We'll see what weather plays a factor in, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, is Sexton going 5 for 5 at the end of the year
No.
crazy?
Yes,
Maybe, but it's
crazy.
also not. Is it impossible? I
Yeah.
don't think
Sexton,
it is.
Sexton, Sexton throws away, eats shit, tucks the front, throws away at least one or two of those races for sure. There's statistically the way Sexton is, he's gonna fuck up. He's never had a streak of that long riding that well to where he doesn't throw a race away.
Bro, ever. I don't think that's ever happened in his life.
I'd be
Fucking
curious. I thought he finished when Tomac went out. I thought he finished pretty damn impressive.
Oh,
I thought he won like
like
6 straight.
like when Tomac was in the lead when he magically blew his Achilles.
yeah.
It wasn't magically, but physically it did break it. But yeah, so Cooper Webb gets second, Ken Roxon gets a third, Stuart Savachi with a fifth, great ride, Jay Coop, Dylan Francis, Cluster Bloss, and then Justin Hill. Um, But yeah, I mean, Dean Wilson, tough
Oh,
debut all the way back in 17. Christian Craig 15th. I don't really know what's going to happen to Christian Craig next year. I mean, with this results that he has, I mean, I don't know where he signs, where he would go. Suzuki, maybe Triumph,
I,
but
he's.
Wrong.
I think he's done. I think Star signed him kind of like a sympathy thing because they knew he had nothing. I don't think he gets a ride next year. I don't think he races.
No, he's gonna go ride fucking across with Freeze.
yeah, yeah, I don't think much is gonna happen there. Um,
Wait,
but
we
yeah,
got
boys,
to.
anything
Oh,
else?
oh,
The main event.
well, I mean, you got to think right off the start. McElrath pretty much ran it so deep he caused the whole pile up. Almost knocked all the top five guys pretty much from the last 5 weeks out in the first corner. So like you had Webb, AP, Sexton, J. Coop, all down in the first corner from McElrath running it deep, and then those guys just pretty much marched right through the pack. Webb Webb and Sexton 1, 2, and then I think J Coop was fifth or sixth, and then I think AP was up there too as well. So I mean, props to those four guys at least moving all the way through the pack after being down pretty much last in the first corner.
So where do you stand on that, CJ? Satan McElrath? Is it whatever? He's a start. If you got to take down fucking everyone with you, so be it. You're gonna get the whole shot, or is it kind of like shady or kind of dirty looking that hey, like try to leave some room, don't try to saw everyone's front tires off.
Yeah, I don't know. I think James Stewart said if you can't win, take out someone who can.
Right.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do. I mean, he's coming off a podium. It's not like he's not, I mean, I think he's no, he didn't win a championship, but he's a championship contender. He didn't win the championship, I don't think, right?
No, I lost it to Sexton, I think, that year.
Yeah, but I mean, he was a contender for a long time. Like he was really good. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you got guys like Barsha and fucking people like that are allowed to race. So
Speak, hey, speaking of Barsha, what about him fucking just going through the berm?
Oh yeah, that was funny. He just kind of just rode just
S-
right off the
So
edge of
did
it.
you? So I was listening to I think it was Swaps. How was your night or whatever? And I guess Barsha crashed and like blew his one of his fingers like split completely open,
Oh,
so he couldn't use his front brake like all night long. And so I guess he said he went to hit his rear brake and there was nothing there.
oh
And so he just
shit!
went right through the berm. He's like, I don't know what
What the
happened, but pretty
fuck?
much he's like the whole main my rear brake was just going in and out. I didn't know when I was gonna have it, and he's like, I couldn't squeeze the front brake at all because my finger was all fucking stitched up and fucking split. I'm like, that's scary as fuck coming into a corner on a
That's
supercross
wild.
track, not knowing if you're gonna have any brakes at all.
Well, that explains it. Holy shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
I think we're gonna see a foot front brake like Volan's fucking back handbrake.
Right? Yeah. That would be
I,
kind of.
I saw some funny shit on I don't know Instagram. I don't know who posted it, but Sexton after he finished and was riding for fucking 10 seconds later, he remembered that Cooper fucking sniped him, so he turned around and did his little. Dude, it was fucking funny. Somebody did like a slow motion edit of it, and like does it in his hand, like goes like this, and someone's like, "Damn, you can't handle that recoil."
It was funny though.
uh,
He did that finger bang, not even like in the air, like to
finger
make it a
bang.
point. He,
Finger
finger bang.
bang.
You
That's
fucking
before he was finger banging.
Yeah.
finger pop each other's assholes.
Yeah.
But he did that like while he was rolling over like the jump after the finish. I'm like, why didn't you just do it in the air to make a point if you're trying to talk shit or do a point?
Because that guy doesn't fucking know, dude. He doesn't know what the fuck
Yeah.
to do.
It's so mental. He's
He
like, oh
twists
wait, I
that
forgot.
fucking throttle, and that's fucking it.
He's like, shit, I forgot to do this over the finish. I better do it now.
Yeah.
That dude's such a fucking moron, dude. He probably tried to do that to get in Coop's head, but he got more in his own head. He was probably
Yeah.
embarrassed. Back at the truck, he's all embarrassed. Like, fuck, that was stupid.
Oh.
Oh, Jesus. Chase Sexton.
It pissed Coop off though, and even in his podium, he's like, "I'll come back to kick his ass" or whatever he said. He said something about kicking his ass or something. I'm like, oh my god, Coop's fired up. He's ready for
Yeah,
next week. Can
could
we?
you
He's like,
imagine
can we
Cooper
race
Webb took
next
that shit
week?
personally? Like, oh, that motherfucker just
Yeah.
finger bangs me.
No one finger bangs me.
Yeah. I do the finger banging around here.
Yeah, I
Ask Ken
figure bang
Roczen.
yo bitch. Yeah.
So,
Jesus, stupid.
Oh,
All right, so
but funny.
going over to the finger banging
Uh,
championship, we got Cooper Webb leading the way. 278 points. Chase Sexton
uh,
266, so 12 points back once again. So he wins out. It's his title. Roxon 240, well out of it. The Malcolm Stewart J. Coop factory sweepstakes is still tight. Malcolm Stewart leads at 204 to 203. So that is the battle that everyone will be watching
you guys
over
got
these last
money
four
on that,
rounds.
don't you? You guys got money on that, don't you?
You should.
no, I think we had money on Sexton or my guy's already out. Who was my guy?
Title.
Who was
I
my
thought you
guy?
guys would Tomac.
Tomac, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you guys made a bet with JQ scored more points than Malcolm or something like that.
No, we thought about it, but then he didn't show up on the next show.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Uh,
I even wrote it down because I thought you guys had a bet. I'm like Stu over JQ by one. watching
uh,
watching that fourth place battle.
yeah. But all right, so going into this 450 tile, Justin, we know you're gonna say you're at Cooper Webb, but
Blue Crew
what does
baby.
this look like? How does it look like? Is it gonna be where Cooper is gonna be on the podium the rest of the way, or is it gonna get close, but Coop's gonna take it, or is Sexton gonna make another mistake and it just completely gets blown out and Webb clinches this thing early?
Well, I think Webb's definitely gonna be on the podium for the rest of the year. We only have what 4 rounds left, I think it is.
Okay.
I
So
mean, I don't see how.
how many
So
points does Webb win by? The
I think
title.
I think he's gonna win by 3 points. He's gonna win another race. I think that gives him another three if Sexton finishes in second. So that put him back at 15. And even if Sexton does win the last three, I don't see Webb not finishing at least on the podium or at least second almost every round. I mean, I don't see anyone really beating Webb, especially with these final couple rounds. Webb's gonna pull that dog out, and he's gonna do whatever he can at least to win this title. So I say Webb by three. Webb by 3 points.
Yeah, so it's a Roxon, you know, he's not 100% either. I mean, AP, he's found some form, so he might be able to kind of get in the way of this and, you know, being Sexton's, you know, partner. Who
Yeah,
knows?
but we're also going back west after these next 2 rounds, and AP could not fucking ride a West Coast track to save his goddamn life.
Neither
So
can Webb.
AP might be fucking 10th in Denver and Salt Lake. So who knows?
Yeah, that's true. Hey, Webb's not great out there either. But CJ, how about you? What do you think? How's this title going to shape up? If you got Cooper Webb winning, how much is he going to win by?
Yeah, I think Cooper Webb gets it done, and I think he outclasses him when it comes to using his brain. I mean, even when he talked about, I know we didn't have a pod last week, but just like the way that his mind works is just, I think he's just on another level than where Sexton is. I mean, we were just talking about it. Sexton forgot that he wanted to finger bang him until fucking after the jump, and Cooper's out. Cooper's fucking talking about last week. He told RC that
Hmm.
knew he was gonna get. He knew that he was getting lapped, so he didn't care if his bike blew up, so he sent it, and he was like 120 seconds faster or some shit in one lap because he's just mentally he knew like worst case scenario if my bike blows up, I've already been lapped, I'm gonna get fucking eighth place or whatever it is.
Yep.
So I think that he's just when he knows that he's got to get. I mean, we saw him; he was reeling Sexton back in even on this week, and Sexton had it dialed in. I mean, he for somehow I don't know how what he does. It doesn't make any sense, but he fucking figures it out when he needs to
Hmm.
figure it out. And I don't know. I mean, I don't think he wins by a landslide. I definitely don't think Sexton wins out. There's just very slim chance of that happening. I think for one, I think Webb can be just better than him. We've seen him beat him on a couple straight up tracks. And I just think there's so much pressure on Sexton right now that we for sure see him on the ground again. But I don't
To
know.
be
I mean,
honest, it seems like Sexton does the best when the pressure is on him the most. You know, we talked about this weekend was a must win for him. He goes out there and he looks amazing. And then we see him literally the week after Tomac and Jet are gone, his two biggest competition, and he goes and he fucking hits the deck. You know, it's
yeah,
just like, dude, like you seem like you perform when you need to, but when you have the shit in the bag is when you get lackadaisical, and that's when you start making mistakes and throwing shit away when you should be winning this shit.
yeah.
But yeah, he only does that for 1 round, and then he goes back to his bullshit normally. It's not
I,
like he's
I,
doing it for
I,
4 rounds straight.
I don't think Webb wins by a bunch, but I mean, I think he has a buffer going into the last round where he's got to fucking be top three or four. I mean, I think he goes into to Salt Lake with a 6 point lead.
Wow. Okay.
So well, that's kind of like what I'm saying. If Webb wins by three, if Sexton wins the last round, that I mean that would be coming in at 6 points if Webb finishes second. So it's pretty much
I think
Yeah,
it's going to be a lot closer, but I think it's going to be one of those to where I think it ends up with Sexton winning Salt Lake, but he still loses the title by 1 point. I still think I think Webb's going to probably throw out a fourth here soon. Um, you know, it could be Colorado. You know, hard dry track. Who knows? Or it could be. I don't think we have another mutter this weekend. I know it's another day race, I think, but I could see Sexton getting another win and Cooper maybe throwing out like a fourth, but at the end, I don't think Sexton's going to be able to win them all out. If he does, it's going to be legendary. It's going to be a hell of a finish.
I don't think there's two people that can beat Cooper. I don't think there's two other people. I mean, you get to the end of these seasons and everybody's got some fucking. I mean, the
Well,
people that
there's three guys that already have.
yeah before when everyone was healthy and chipper and happy go
Well,
lucky.
what AP won a week ago? Yeah, it was
Yeah, that was a
kind
mess.
of a mutter. Malcolm, who knows what he can pull out. Jay Coop's been running up there. He just got to finish, but yeah, Roxon, I think he's too hurt, but
He been
I
He's
think
got
that's
involved.
really it.
he's got a torn ligament in his ankle.
Yeah, so. Yeah, that's true. The way it's shaping up, you could very well see it being these guys 1-2 from here on out. And like you
I,
said, Webb's thinking ahead. He knows where he's at. He doesn't care about. Well, he says he doesn't care about race wins, but on the podium, this past weekend he said that he wanted to go beat him and he wants to go beat him next weekend. So who knows? Maybe I don't know. The only thing I could see happening is maybe Webb letting this. He's not the fastest guy. Get into his head too much to where he like this weekend where he was trying to push to get Chase Sexton and maybe ends up biting him. So hopefully he doesn't get to that point to where Webb's just really trying to prove a point that hey, look, I can beat Sexton. Look, I have speed. And doesn't risk losing the title. Maybe pushing it too hard.
I don't.
I think with this week coming up, with the track we got coming up, it's a web type of track. It reminds me of like Glendale, a lot of 180 turns, and Webb is just a stud when it comes to turning at 180 turns. He's just so good at cutting down, finding great lines, and he's just so quick in these corners. And I have a feeling it's Sexton just gonna tuck a front or something in one of these 180 turns.
Yeah, but that tucking it down, that really only comes to play when the track is getting beat and super rutted to where he can kind of stay out of it. It's going to be another day race. East Rutherford. I don't know if they're known
It's
for
gonna be
being
Saw.
ruddy, but yeah, let's talk about this track. It looks badass. There's
It looks sick.
there's two whoop sections back to back. There's a lot of 180 turns like Justin talked about. There's a huge sweeping first turn, but yeah, CJ. Looking at the track, it looks sick, and then this is back to East Coast too. So yeah, the East Coast boys are gonna have some fun on this one.
Yeah, no, I'm just looking at it. I mean, it seems cool on paper. We'll see. I mean, a lot of it I think comes down to it looks like they got a pretty good run going into those whoops,
Mm-hmm.
which is I mean, to me that's a benefit for Sexton. You get those big runs, and it's a lot
Yeah.
harder for guys. I mean, they got to slow down to jump them if that's what they're going to do, or these fast guys like Mookie and Cole Davies and Sexton, they fucking blitz them and they make up some pretty good speed when that happens. So I think that'll play a big role how those whoops shape up. If they get so beat up and fucked up that you can't blitz them, that's a different ball game. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it looks like it'll be cool. See what it looks like when they actually build it. But it looks like, I mean, it looks fun. There is a lot of 180 turns. I think that's good for racing.
Yeah, and Justin, I think this big sweeper on the start, I think it's almost going to eliminate any gates outside of the doghouse
I think
because
it's
it
probably gonna
sweeps
make it
so
a
much.
pretty.
If you're on the outside, you're just going to keep getting pushed further and further and further and further outside because it's
I'm
it's just
really
going to keep
curious,
pushing
like.
out.
The one, I think this long rhythm section is going to be key. I think that's going to be a big problem, possibly for Webb. Because Sexton has no problem uncorking some of these big rhythms, and even Webb mentioned it this week after the race. He's like, I should have busted out that quad, a lot earlier and done it. So I think that one long rhythm is really going to help Sexton out if he can uncork, a huge rhythm that Webb isn't comfortable enough doing multiple times. And then after the finish, that tight right hander back onto the start. I think that's good. Maybe interesting for some racing. People getting taken out, block passes right there coming onto that start. So
Weird,
I don't know.
weird turn right there. Like they're gonna like that's a weird situation. They're gonna force them to go around those tough blocks so that because it almost
Mm-hmm.
want to just dive in and go into the whoops, but it looks like they're
Yep.
probably force them to go out to that turn
I was looking
quick.
at that too. Like, what are
Oh,
they going to throw out there to block it? Because yeah, it looks more
it's tight.
natural to stay with the first turn rather than going into that berm.
Yeah,
Well,
maybe
yeah, you're gonna have to stay so tight after that finish. So like that inside line is gonna probably be just the only real
And
line
that's
because you
that's
gotta hug
almost
it so much.
a 180 turn, and you're not, and half the berm's going to be gone because it
yeah,
doesn't
It's
go out
almost
into the
yeah.
start. Like you're almost coming straight back the other way on that one.
I wonder if they're gonna build it like super high. That berm would be super high, so you can get up there and pivot and come straight down. How do
Yeah,
you feel?
get
How do you
pitted.
feel about like? How do you feel like those tight? Like you got that Supercross triple, and then you just literally have a kind of a basic two
I think it's
little
good. It
options back
slows
and
the
forth
track
like
down.
that. I
It
like
slows
the
the track
double on.
down. It gives options because yeah, they can go outside, they can triple single, or they can go inside and go single triple.
Well, I like the double on off right there. Step on
Yeah,
off.
that looks
I like
interesting
that's
because it
gonna be
looks like it's more
interesting.
filled in the middle, but it could just be a picture. But yeah, I mean, great track, double set of loops. This is going to be sick. I'm excited for it.
Every
East
track needs two
Coast.
sets of whoops. Every track needs
Um,
two sets of whoops.
but Justin, we'll go ahead and start with you. Who you got? Who are your picks for this weekend? 250 East and 450.
250 East. I think I'm gonna go with Hammaker. I think he's gonna back up what he's been doing. I think he's proven he's the most consistent one to getting starts this year. It seems like these last few rounds. So I'm gonna go with Hammaker. He's in a flow. He's got the confidence. He's been riding great. 450. I'm gonna go Webb. I think Webb's gonna come out with something to prove after he's fired up from last weekend. He got finger banged. I don't know if he liked that. So he's gonna be finger
I don't
banging
think so.
Sexton back after this. So.
There's gonna be a lot of finger
Uh,
banging out there.
a lot of finger banging. So we're gonna go Hammaker and Webb for the wins.
All right, CJ, how about you? What do you got for this weekend?
I think I think I'm going to probably go with RJ and Sexton. I think uh, I think RJ is going to come out with a point to prove. I would like to see Hammaker win. I think RJ or Hammaker would be cool to see win, but I think RJ's either going to get hurt or he's going to come out and win these final races. And I don't know. I think Sexton's firing all cylinders. I think Cooper knows he doesn't have to go out there and dominate. There's a lot of whoops. This long run into these whoops doesn't give me a lot of confidence for Webb. I don't know. I could see him riding around, getting second place, moving on, and going to take a win at a different location.
Do we know, is Levi Kitchen back yet?
No,
No.
I
He's
don't think so.
50, I saw.
Yeah, I thought I saw him. He was riding. But yeah, see that I'm actually right there with you. I think RJ and I would go with Sexton too. Um, yeah, RJ, I think he's due for a win. He's shown that he's had the speed. He's been having these bonehead mistakes like the puddle and everything. So yeah, I think he's due. And then 450, same thing. I think section as well, like you said, the two whoop sections is not a strength for Cooper Webb, and I think that's going to be kind of the decision maker. But who knows? Maybe we see someone like Malcolm step up and blitz these loops and get a second win. But well,
Oh, Mookie for the win. Damn.
who knows?
Oh,
Um, but that's it for this week. Thank you for listening. Give us a follow on Instagram, subscribe on YouTube. But we will be back next week to give a recap on this round. But thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. See ya.
Later.